A few top tips to help when you're measuring the length of your handrail and base rail for a stair section. If you've got a tape measure like this that actually has both inches and metric, you need to be careful to make sure that you're using the correct side of the tape measure. So for example, if I'm measuring the handrail length here and I'm placing the tape measure like so, I'd actually end up reading an incorrect measurement most likely, because I've got the inches side touching the post, and the metric side would actually need to continue on another 2 to 2.5 centimeters, as you can see here. So the solution to this would be to make sure that you're using the metric side of the tape measure. So if I come round to the other side of the stairs, now you can see that the metric side, the side that I want to be using with the centimeters and millimeters, is the side that is touching. And at that point I can then measure nicely further all the way up to where the handrail touches the top newel post. Now the length that you supply here is the length that your handrails and base rails will be cut to. So it's really important to ensure that this measurement is correct. It's worth checking your base rail as well as your handrail. And if you don't have an existing handrail, you just measure the length of your existing base rail or the stringer itself. Now, when taking this measurement, you also need to be careful of the claw of the tape measure, because sometimes people will try and measure on the top of the handrail or the top of the base rail, placing the tape like so. But in this situation, again here, you can see that from where the claw of the tape measure is touching the post, there's actually 10 mil difference to the end of the post, and that measurement would be being missed. A simple solution to this is what you can do is you can use the digital protractor that we will send you to check the angle of your staircase. So at the same time as reading the angle for your staircase, you'll be double checking the other measurements. Now with your digital protractor, what you can do is you can place it so that the end of the tape side is touching the newel post, and you can have it sat on your base rail or handrail like so. What you would then do is you would line up the measurements. So for example, if we look at where 100 millimeters is there, and I'm going to line that up with 100 millimeters, which is 10 centimeters on the tape measure, and with somebody holding that in line to make sure that that's held in line, you can then continue your measurement further along all the way up to where the base rail touches the newel post. If you aren't having a digital protractor because you've got your own to read the angle measurement, you can use many other things to help with that technique there. So for example, you could use something like a debit card. Most debit cards are the same measurement. You'd need to double check yours, but most of them tend to be 85 millimeters. So if you took a standard card and you put that in position against the post, you could then measure up to that card and all the way up to the top of your base rail. But if you're doing that, it's vitally important to make sure that you add on the 85 millimeters that is going to be used by your debit card.